Hello guys, this is Brian here for another Minecraft video. This is episode 31 of the Railroad Industries Modpack playthrough, where we connect villages around this world with railroads. And today we are going to be focusing on power generation, specifically with big reactors. Improving our RF per tick. Quick slip and clip. My microphone has this weird problem where it has some static in the background. It's getting quite old, so I understand that. However, I do not have any spare microphones, so I do have to use this one. So if you hear any static in the video, I am sorry about that. I will try to avoid as much as possible. However, it might be there, so just a quick warning for you guys. So if you're new here, this is where we build railroads to connect different villages, right? So there's a map on the screen. We're not going to be making any progress right now, because as I said, we're going to be focusing on power generation. Now, why power generation? Well, we have an Ender Quarry. That's what we did last episode. Sorry, the music's getting a little loud, but that's what we did last episode. And I just realized, I didn't know this previously, it had an 80 times power generation multiplier. 80 times is a lot, and this big reactor is not enough to sustain that. The reason why I have an 80 times multiplier is because of the fortune tree, which, yep, as you know, we worked really hard for. So now time to get it to use, right? So first of all, we're gonna have to expand this big reactor to a really big size. But before we do that, I do want to have some power, some backup power going into some sort of RF storage. As you can see, here's our to-do list today. I hope that's correct, 32. So yeah, energy storage. That's the first things first, because we really need a way to store this energy, or we're gonna waste a lot of it. We are gonna be using some redstone ports, I guess, to automate the on and off of this. But anyways, I still want to have access to this ME system while we are working on the big reactor, which without any power, that can't happen, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a resident ender. I don't know what it's called. Resonant Energy Storage? Resonant Energy Cell. Right, so there's a lot of steps in creating this. First of all, we're gonna have to create the frame of the gold one, redstone energy cell. Alright, so to create this, we need electrum, hardened glass, and a diamond, right? So I prepared here some temporary chests. They may be permanent, but that's what we have now. So to make the electrum, we need to have 1 gold and 1 silver and an alloy smelter, or whatever alloying you have, right? So we have this on autocraft, so we don't have to worry about this. But thankfully, I still have some extra electrum from previous crafting, so we can use that. So the next thing, diamond, we already have that. The next thing is that we need hardened glass, right? So if you look at the recipe here, you can see that we need hardened glass there. So we also have that on autocraft. So if you don't have this on autocraft, the way you create them is by using 1 obsidian, make it into pulverize it, which will get 4 obsidian dust, and 1 lead, however you say that, which will give you 2 hardened glass, which is pretty neat, right? So if we take our hardened glass out, here we go, put it here and get our diamond out as well, and then we're gonna take our electrum. There's our frame, and that's all, and nice, done, right? So next we need to fill this up. If I'm not mistaken, I'm currently using a website called Minecraft Crafting Guide for my recipes, right? So that I know what in the world I'm doing. Right? So next thing to do is we need to take this redstone, right? And then we need to go to this magma crucible, or whatever you call it. Put it here. We need 40 of them, because one of them makes 100 million buckets. We need 4 buckets to fill up this thing frame. So yeah, let me just stick some buckets here. Actually, we don't need buckets. We're gonna fill them straight on with the energy cell frames. But oh, we still have some spares and enders, so gotta clear that up first. So we need the bucket anyways. So we get some buckets and clear that out, so we can have the destabilized redstone come in here, and then we could just pour it directly. So that's gonna come to the system, and there you go. There's our destabilized redstone slowly coming in. Alright, so once this is done, we can put it in here, and it should fill it up, I hope. Okay, very slowly. Yeah, that's gonna take a little bit of time, but once this is done, the next step we're gonna do is need to create some Enderium, right? So yeah, Enderium. Because we want to upgrade this to a Resonant one so that we can store a lot more and transfer a lot more. So if we just grab that, I forgot what you call it. It's here, this the Resonant Energy Cell frame, which is now currently full. Alright, so next we need to craft our ingots. Now there's a couple of methods to this. There's the Ender IO way, there's the Charm Expansion way with the Pyrotium Dust, I think. But we're gonna do it the Tinker's Construct way because we don't need any of that blah 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 blah. We can just straight on put it in there. Alright, so I forgot to put my ender balls there. I'm sorry about that. So the way we make our Enderium ingots is that, so we need 4 ender pearls for a bucket of Enderium. However, I do have that already, as you can see here, because of before, because I had some leftovers. You can create that in a magma crucible yourself, and that shouldn't be that big of a deal. Then we need 2 tin ingots. Now you could just put, for our purposes, since the Tinker's Construct is the doubler, we're gonna use 1 tin ore, which is gonna double it for us, right? And then next we need 1 silver, but since we already have 4 silver in here for some reason, I forgot why, we're gonna use that one. And then we need 1 shiny ingot as well. Pretty expensive, but well, that's what it costs to build high-end stuff. Alright, so this we can just pump it in through the casting channel into the smeltery, and then this should smelt soon. Alright, so once it's finished smelting, we should have, yep, we're left with 4 ingots of molten Enderium. Now we just have to cast it out. You know, you don't need any of the pyrotium dust or Enderium base or, you know, any of that nonsense. You could just do this and, you know, we have our Enderium ingots, you know, nice and easy. But actually, hold on, I think I forgot a step. Yep, I completely skipped a step. So this is the Resonant Energy Cell frame, right? We need to encircle that with some more stuff to make the actual energy cell. So with that, we need to create a redstone conductance coil, which is 1 electrum with 2 redstone, just like that. And we need 3 electrums, so we need 2 more. Let's quickly craft 2 more. We need 2 lead, which is also no big deal. Well, why do I have more? That's alright. So we need 2 lead, 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 and then we can just put it here. Put the frame in the middle, and then we could surround with electrum. There is our energy cell. Alright, so let's cast these out, the rest of this, and we should be on our way. So, oh, forgot to click. Alright, so we can just let this pour out. So we need 4 of these, and then we can surround our cell with it. So we just come to here, random crafting table, I guess will work. And then there you go, there's our resonant energy cell. Right, job well done. And I'm going to place this resonant energy cell right here, I think, because so the way it currently works is that there will be cables, these red net energy cables, coming in from the power tap, and this goes to the test rack and blah blah. But this is going to be moving this anyways. I think it's okay if we just place it at the bottom, right over here, where this connects to the ME system, which, well, is what's most important, right? So let's just quickly break this, do that, and that's our output. Output will be on the left as well, right, sorry. And they should start inputting. Yep, alright, that's all nice and done. This can hold up to 80 million RF, which is a lot for my standards. Especially since we're producing almost nothing by modded standards, 880. We just don't really have this on full speed. Anyways, moving along, we're gonna let this drain, so we're gonna stop it now. And we can eject all the fuel. There we go. So all fuel is gonna be gone. There's still a little bit left, but that's alright. And I hope to move all of the energy in here in the buffer to this over here, this energy cell, so that we can have energy here and it can run off from here. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. We're gonna let this drain. We'll take this big reactor down and we'll see how many parts of it we're gonna use, which, well, we're gonna use all of them, but yeah, we're gonna see how much more we're gonna need for the new bigger reactor. Alright, so I let all the energy drain out of the big reactor into this Resonant Energy Cell, which I'm setting in input mode on the left side, and only turning it to output mode when I need energy to access my ME system. I also disassembled it, which I brought all the way here. So this is what we currently have. It's a huge reactor, 9 by 9 by 4 height interior. And this is supposed to be producing about 24,000 RF, 24.1, 24.2. And the reason why we need that much is because the Ender Quarry itself, with its 80 times multiplier because of the Fortune 3 upgrade, takes about, at maximum speed, 20,800 RF, which is a lot of RF, which is why I need to make it this big. So here's the formation I'm going with a plus. Thank you, Wells Knight, for recommending me all the sorts of tricks and the way the big reactor works, which I am going to elaborate later. Yeah, this is what we have. So I'm going to jump into the creative world and I'm going to explain everything to you so that you can understand how this works. Alright, so here we're in a creative world, pretty blank here, but here we have the reactor we're going to be building, this one. So I'll explain what all the stuff on the top is. It's just for visualization, no need to worry about that. And so here it is. So the way this big reactor works is that we have a redstone port, which I said we're going to use. So let me explain this to you. Thank you to XB Crafted and Hypnotized for the instruction on how to do this, which I learned from their Sky Factory series. So the way this works is we have a reactor redstone port emitting an output. So this thing will emit a redstone signal if the reactor energy buffer is below 90%. So when it's below 90%, it will output a redstone energy signal into this another reactor redstone port, which is set to input toggle reactor on and off. So while this is on, the reactor is on, while the redstone is off, the reactor is off. As you can see, it matches. So the reason why we want this is when it hits 90, we want the big reactor to turn off so that we can save fuel. It doesn't, go up to max and just voids all the others created. Which is one of the biggest problems in the surround world that I never did this. I forgot this trick existed. But yeah, that's the way this thing's gonna work. Also, here we have a tesseract system, 3 of them. So we're directly pulling out energy out of the tesseract, out of the big reactor, sorry, so that there's no limit on RF per tick in terms of energy transfer rate. So here, let's pretend this is our quarry. So let's place our Ender Quarry here, and then we'll let it run. And see, here we have a bunch of diamond blocks. So we're gonna come into here, and what this does is, this is set to energy send only, and this is energy receive only. So we'll receive energy into this Ender Quarry, and it's also set into item mode send only. So from the Ender Quarry, it'll go into the tesseract, and then where the item's gonna go is here, which is configured to item mode receive only and also energy mode, so that we have the leftovers in these Resonant Energy Cells. So the items will come to here, and this is just a temporary setup. We are going to be making a full-blown sorting system in this surround world, which is probably next episode. Who knows? Yeah, all the diamonds that are being mined are coming into here, right? So that's how that works. And yeah, it actually works pretty well. This thing's keeping up nicely, and yeah, no problems at all. Everything's working great. So the last thing to explain this world is this. So thank you to Wells Knight for explaining the formation and also how the coolant works. The way the coolant works is that it only works in the, he said, cardinal directions. Cardinal directions just means up and down, not diagonal. So the diagonals, so we have the reactor control out here, and this to the left and right, and then to the bottom. And if you just trace everything, you will notice that these corners are not touched by any of these control rods, which means these can be air and it wouldn't affect any performance. I tested this out, and it is true. I filled up everything with redstone in the simulator, and then I compared the energy outputs, and they were exactly the same. I'm also gonna let the redstone pour down as well to save a lot of liquid. Which also proves to have the same amount of energy output. So, why fill up every single one of those air blocks? So we just use a pretty helpful worded command here called distill or distribution or however it's spelled. You can see there's a total of 52 blocks of redstone, right? 52 blocks of redstone. So that's how much buckets of destabilized redstone we need, and that isn't that much because one bucket is 10, right? So that's 52 times 10, so 520 redstone, which isn't much at all considering that, you know, we have about 2000 redstone in our ME system. So that's how everything works. I hope this all makes sense. And yeah, we're gonna come back into the survival world, and hopefully all this information is helpful to you. So here we are in our survival world, and now it's time to get things crafted, and there's a lot of work to do this time. So turn this on, and quickly we'll go into here, and then okay, this is active. So now what we need to do is we need to grab us a lot of charcoal and turn it into the graphite. So if you search, we have 147 graphite. Yes, I'm speaking very fast because we don't have much time for this thing runs out of energy, right? That's gonna be a huge problem. So we just go into here, and then we go into our we can go into our oil smelter, I guess. So here's in our furnace mode only. So we're gonna stock this in with infinite charcoal. So this can do its thing, and then we can get yay, a lot of graphite. Alright, let's go all the way back down here. Actually, we can stay up here. That's pretty helpful. So first things I want to craft is the redstone energy board, which requires reactor casing. So let's quickly craft this as well. So we need 4 iron, 4 graphite, and 1 yellorium. So we can just quickly do that. So 1 yellorium, and then where's the graphite? We have, oh, it's in our inventory. And then we can put the iron in the corners, right? I'm pretty sure we have enough iron for this. I really hope. Alright, let's grab alright, almost 3 stacks. And we're gonna quickly make 2 of those redstone ports so that we can do the thing we did in the creative world, saving a lot of energy. Alright, so those are 2 redstone ports. Moving along, next I think we need some more fuel rods. So if we come to here, fuel rod, I think we need a lot of these. So we're gonna craft some of them for now, and then we can maybe grab a couple. Maybe we'll do 15 for now, and then we can just fill up the rest. Right, and then next we're gonna have the, oh man, I forgot what it's called, the fuel cap thing. The thing that caps the fuel. Oh, here it is, reactor control rod. Yep, that's the cap. So the way we do this, how do we craft this? So we craft this with, right, so 4 reactor casing in the corner, 2 graphite, 1 or so, 1 yellorium. Alright, so we'll do that. I think we need 13 of these in total. Oh man, we don't have any casings. Alright, so 13 minus 6. Oh, my math is completely gone. 4 plus 3, 7. Right, 7. We need 7. Oh my goodness, I am quite embarrassed at that. Alright, let's do this. So for now, I think I'm gonna leave that be, and we're gonna turn this off really quickly so that we can spend as little energy as we can. Alright, turn this off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Where? Turn it off. Right. Whew. Alright, so that's turned off. Anyways, let's come back into here and let's actually start building. And then let's set that up with you. I don't know if that will work when this is not a part of the thing. Oh, it will work. Alright. So output energy mod. Oh, the thing's covering it. Can you go away, NEI, please? Right. So we need to have the energy output. So it's 90, and it'll be active while below 90. So if it's below 90, it's gonna oh my, we need 3 redstone, right? So if it's below 90, it's gonna activate the redstone signal, and the redstone signal is gonna come here, which controls toggle reactor on or off. Perfect. Anyway, that's just a quick setup, and I think the rest of this will be pretty boring as it's just me building this at this point. So yeah, I'll get this build up and I'll come back to you when it's time to put in the coolant. Oh, whoops. Alright, so I'm finally done building the reactor, as you can see. Now I'll lift the top open because we still need the coolant. So yeah, that's still what we need. But other than that, this is enough for covering the top, and I've actually made 22 more reactor control rods when there's supposed to be 22 more yellorium fuel rods. Oh, a waste of resources, quite a lot of it actually. So anyways, besides that, now it's time to get the coolant done, right? So let's get into the ME system. I hope it's on. It's not, but well, let's try to turn it on. And I hope I can get enough in time. Now this is gonna be a little bit hard because we need 520 redstone. So we're gonna have to do some math here. Alright, so there is our redstone, and then we're gonna grab our bucket. Here they are. And let's get to work. Alright, so all we have to do pretty much is just put this in the, what is it called? There's a magma thingy, and it'll do its job. So we'll wait for this to go and do its thing, and I'll be back with you. Alright, so we're about to be out of buckets, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have to, you know, come back and forth with these buckets. Then with the empty ones, you know, come back and then fill them up again. Which is gonna be annoying, I know, but I don't want to waste even more iron when we're kind of running out of it, you know. And I don't have that much inventory space anyways, so we might as well do that. The way it's gonna work is we're gonna destroy the cobblestone once we placed all of these destabilized redstone buckets. So to make sure I don't forget any of this, I'm gonna go in rows, I guess you can say. So let's start with this row.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
I really do not want to overlap this.
2, 3, 4.
Alright, then we can move on to the next row, like this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then the next row, which we're out of buckets. So we'll do
1, 2, 3.
and I'll come back with these two. Alright, so I'll be doing this, and once I'm done, I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm finished with placing all this stabilized redstone, as you can see. And now I'm just currently destroying the cobblestone that is in here. Sorry for the background noise, but anyways, funny story is that I was trying to access the enemy system, but we actually ran out of energy. So luckily, very luckily, we had a steam dynamo that I could use. So yeah, lifesaver, steam dynamo. I used some charcoal, had in my inventory, and yeah, finally got access to the enemy system. So yeah, this is now technically done. Destroyed all the cobblestone, and if we just get this in here, let me just check that everything is okay. Oh yeah, I also have to put some torches up here because yeah, it's pretty dark in here. But yeah, there you go, it formed. So let's just sleep. Alright, so if we take the available fuel that we have. Alright, so we gotta do this little trick that I've been doing because I do not have access to any system. Yeah, the steam dynamo was a lifesaver. It's one of these chests. I should keep that in there just in case, you know, these types of things happen. Alright, let's go here. Yo, Lorium. Let's grab a stack and two, and then we'll just cut this off and it'll be okay. Alright. Oh, 0 RF. That was a pretty close call. So in here we have our energy mode receive only, and then in here we have energy mode send, right? No, actually, I think I need to change this a little around. Yeah, this is gonna get a little complicated. Yeah, I think I would have to take out the tesseract, the one that's on the quarry, because I don't want to accidentally activate this thing because we still have no system to handle all the stuff coming in. Alright, so just a little cut there, a little rough. As you can see here, I filled up the entire reactor and it fixed everything. Now it's at 24.2. So yeah, that fixed everything. Yeah, this is now up and running and still filling up that huge resonant energy cell. So that's gonna take a while until this turns off, and yeah, everything will work nicely. So next episode we are going to be working on the sorting system for the Ender Quarry. I hope that gets out on time. I'm probably quite busy, so I don't know if I can get it out on time, but we'll see. I hope you enjoyed this one. This has been a lot more dense for me than I usually do. I hope it's an improvement to the others, but that's for you to judge. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and subscribe for more content like this. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.